The National Electrical Code, specifically the 2020 edition, addresses the mounting height of receptacle outlets in dwelling units. According to Article 406.8a, receptacle outlets installed in dwelling units must be located no more than 18 inches or 457 mm above the floor. This requirement primarily applies to dwelling units, which are defined as single units providing complete and independent living facilities for one or more persons, including permanent provisions for living, sleeping, cooking, and sanitation. It is important to understand that this height restriction is a maximum, not a fixed height. The receptacle can be installed at any height up to 18 inches from the floor. The code aims to ensure accessibility for people with disabilities and convenience for general use. Regarding the direction of receptacle mounting, the NEC does not specify whether receptacles should be mounted vertically or horizontally. The decision on orientation is left to the discretion of the installer or designer, taking into account factors such as aesthetics, convenience, and the specific application. Both vertical and horizontal mounting are acceptable as long as the 18-inch height restriction is observed. Several factors can influence the choice between vertical and horizontal mounting. Vertical mounting may be preferred in areas where space is limited, as it can minimize the horizontal footprint of the receptacle. It can also be advantageous when installing multiple receptacles in a single location, as it allows for a more compact arrangement. Horizontal mounting, on the other hand, may be more suitable in areas where there is ample space and a more traditional appearance is desired. It can also be more convenient for plugging in certain types of appliances or devices. While the NEC does not mandate a specific direction, local codes or regulations may have additional requirements. It is always advisable to consult with local authorities or a qualified electrical inspector to ensure compliance with all applicable codes. In addition to the mounting height and direction, there are other NEC requirements that apply to receptacle outlets in dwelling units. For example, Article 210.52 outlines the requirements for receptacle placement in various rooms, including kitchens, bathrooms, and living areas. These requirements are designed to ensure that receptacles are conveniently located and readily accessible for the intended use of the space. Ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI protection, is another important consideration. The NEC requires GFCI protection for receptacles installed in certain locations, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. GFCI protection is designed to protect people from electrical shock by detecting ground faults and interrupting the circuit. Arc fault circuit interrupter, or SI protection, is also required for many circuits in dwelling units. SIs are designed to protect against electrical fires by detecting arc faults, which are dangerous electrical conditions that can ignite flammable materials. It is important to note that the NEC is a comprehensive document and it is constantly updated to reflect the latest safety standards and technological advancements. The information provided here is a general overview of the receptacle mounting requirements and should not be considered a substitute for consulting the actual NEC document. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes or regulations before installing or modifying electrical systems. When installing receptacle outlets, it is essential to use appropriate wiring methods and materials. The size and type of wire must be suitable for the load it will carry, and the wiring must be properly protected from physical damage. All connections must be made securely and in accordance with the NEC requirements. Proper grounding is also critical for electrical safety. The grounding system must be properly installed and maintained to provide a safe path for fault currents to return to the source. This helps to prevent electrical shock and reduce the risk of electrical fires. It is important to use only listed or labeled electrical equipment that has been tested and certified by a recognized testing laboratory. This ensures that the equipment meets the applicable safety standards and is suitable for its intended use. When working with electricity, always take precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. Turn off the power at the breaker before working on any electrical circuits. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to install and maintain electrical systems safely and in accordance with the NEC. The NEC is a complex and ever-evolving document. Staying up to date on the latest code changes and requirements is essential for electrical professionals. There are many resources available to help electrical professionals stay informed, including training courses, seminars, and publications. By following the NEC and other applicable codes and regulations, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems. Remember that the information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for consulting the actual NEC document or a qualified electrician. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity. Understanding the nuances of the NEC requires careful study and practical experience. Let's delve a little deeper into some related topics. Firstly, consider the concept of readily accessible. The NEC often uses this term, and it means capable of being reached quickly for operation, renewal, or inspections without requiring those to whom ready access is requisite to climb over or remove obstacles or to resort to portable ladders, and so forth. Receptacles should be placed in locations where they can be easily accessed without obstruction. Secondly, think about tamper-resistant receptacles, or TRRs. These receptacles are designed to prevent children from inserting objects into the slots. The NEC requires TRR in dwelling units in specific locations. These devices have internal shutters that prevent the insertion of foreign objects unless a 2- or 3-prong plug is inserted simultaneously. Thirdly, examine the concept of dedicated circuits. Certain appliances, such as refrigerators and microwave ovens, may require dedicated circuits to ensure proper operation and prevent overloading. A dedicated circuit is a circuit that serves only one appliance. Fourthly, be aware that the NEC provides tables that specify the allowable ampacities of conductors. These tables are based on the type of conductor, its insulation, and the ambient temperature. It is important to select conductors with adequate ampacity to handle the load they will carry. Fifthly, recognize that voltage drop can be a significant factor in electrical systems. Excessive voltage drop can cause appliances to malfunction or operate inefficiently. The NEC recommends limiting voltage drop to a certain percentage of the supply voltage. Sixthly, know that electrical boxes are used to enclose wiring connections and provide a safe and secure mounting point for devices. The NEC specifies the types of boxes that are permitted for different applications. Seventhly, use conduit to protect wiring from physical damage. The NEC specifies the types of conduit that are permitted for different applications, such as rigid metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and flexible metal conduit. Eighthly, understand that overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overload and short circuits. The NEC specifies the size and type of overcurrent protection devices that are required for different circuits. Ninthly, appreciate that bonding is the process of connecting all metal parts of an electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault currents. Bonding is essential for electrical safety. Tenthly, remember that grounding is the process of connecting the electrical system to the earth. Grounding provides a safe path for fault currents to return to the source and helps to prevent electrical shock. These considerations, combined with the core requirements regarding mounting height and direction, illustrate the comprehensive nature of the NEC. Each element plays a role in ensuring safe and effective electrical installations. While the NEC provides a framework, remember to always consult with local authorities and qualified professionals to ensure full compliance with all applicable regulations.